Mr. 13. 22. 2th 9. Re 13. 13, 14. 19. 20. Certain signs are reminders, remembrances, memorials. GE 9. 12-14. 17. 11. Row 4. 11. The Sabbaths and the Passover constituted memorial signs for the Jews. X 13. 3-9. 31. 13. S 20. 12. 20. A sign of a literal or symbolic nature could serve as an identification. New 2. 2. X 12. 13. A sign demanded of Jesus. During Jesus' ministry he performed numerous signs that helped many to believe in him. Joe 2. 23. But the signs did not produce faith in hard-hearted ones. Lu 2. 34. Joe 11. 47, 53. 12. 37. Compare New 14. 11, 22. When on 2 occasions religious leaders asked Jesus to display to them a sign from heaven, they likely were demanding that he perform, as proof that he was the Messiah, the sign foretold at Daniel 7. 13, 14, namely, the Son of Man appearing with the clouds of the heavens to take his kingdom power. But it was not God's time for that prophecy to be fulfilled, and Christ would not perform a showy display merely to gratify their selfish demand. Mount 12. 38. 16. 1. Rather, he told them that the only sign that would be given them was the sign of Jonah the prophet. Mount 12. 39-41. 16. For after about 3 days in the belly of a huge fish, Jonah had gone and preached to Nineveh. Jonah thereby became a sign to the capital of Assyria. Jesus' generation had the sign of Jonah when Christ spent parts of 3 days in the grave and was resurrected, after which his disciples proclaimed the evidence of that event. In this, Christ was a sign to that generation, but even that did not convince most of the Jews. Lu 11. 30. 1 Co 1. 22. Sign of Christ's presence. Shortly before Jesus' death his apostles asked him, "What will be the sign of your presence and of the conclusion of the system of things?" Mount 24. 3. Mr. 13. 4. Lu 21. 7. There were distinct differences between this question and the requests for a sign that the religious leaders had made. While right there, able to see him and his works, those leaders would not accept him as Messiah and King designate. Joe 19. 15. Once they asked for a sign to tempt him. Lu 11. 16. Also o texto e acute miritra longo, signal 942 sign of the Son of Man. On that same occasion Jesus said to his disciples, "And then the sign of the Son of Man will appear in heaven, and then all the tribes of the earth will beat themselves in lamentation, and they will see the Son of Man coming on the clouds of heaven with power and great glory." Mount 24. 30. Lu 21. 27. Just before this comment he had spoken of the prophet Daniel. Mount 24. 15. Da 9. 27. 11. 31. And from the expression Jesus he used it is evident that he was now referring back to Daniel 7. 13, 14, where the vision depicted with the clouds of the heavens someone like a Son of Man gaining access to the Ancient of Days and receiving a kingdom that will not be brought to ruin. This linked the sign of the Son of Man with the time when Jesus would be exercising kingdom power. Jesus applied the expression Son of Man and the prophecy at Daniel 7. 13, 14 to himself. Mount 26. 63, 64. Mr. 14. 61, 62. About 96 CE, 26 years after the destruction of Jerusalem, John wrote about things that would take place in the future, and he saw in vision Jesus Christ coming with the clouds, and every eye will see him, and those who pierced him. Re 1. 1, 7. Hence, both this statement about something that was to take place after 96 CE and what Christ said about the sign of the Son of Man refer to Jesus as coming in the clouds and as being seen by all people. See cloud. It should be noted, however, that while the Greek verb homidal.rao, see, used at Matthew 24:30 and Revelation 1:7, can mean literally to see an object, behold, it can also be used metaphorically, of mental sight, to discern, perceive. A Greek-English Lexicon, by H. Little and R. Scott, revised by H. Jones, 1968, p. 1245, col. 1. Free comparison of miracles, portents, and signs. See miracles. Portent. Signal. The Hebrew word es appears to denote a stationary pole or stake occupying an elevated site. It is used both literally and figuratively. Hence, it does not denote a signal for sending messages, such as a smoke signal JG20, 38, 40 or a fire signal J6. 1, for which other Hebrew words are used. Rather, such a pole could serve as a rallying point to which people or armies could assemble themselves. Issachar.